how you can make over $1 million a year just by filming videos. And yes, that is a hook. There's a little bit more to it. So for those that don't know me, obviously I run a property YouTube channel. Welcome. The idea of this is actually it started with just trying to share my passion. And I like to think I'm okay getting in front of camera, filming for 15, 20 minutes and doing my thing. However, if you ask me to type this up, I'd be friggin' useless at this. So first of all, why would you want to start a YouTube channel? Well, first of all, I would look at it from a passion project. Building a social channel of any kind is really tough, especially needing to get in front of camera every single day. For example, I was in the office at 8 dealing with 2 property investments that look like they're going to fall out of bed. I'll be honest with you, the last thing I wanted to do was get on camera right now, but actually it's really important to build the consistency. And that's where passion really comes in, is that sometimes you're not going to want to get in front of the camera, but actually with that passion, that drive, that energy, the need and desire to help people, the mission goes beyond you. So that's the first thing I'd say. If you're just starting YouTube just for money, it's maybe not for you. Maybe blogging, social media posting, whatever is going to be for you. So how and why do I do it from a business point of view? So if you don't know, if you go to my earlier videos, it was shocking, if I do say so myself. It was really just a passion project, and honestly, it was just to get some of you off my back. I used to get so many messages, and they'd just be the same thing. And I thought, if I just create these 10, 15, 20 videos, happy days, covers everything, right? But as I started pumping out more, I realized, actually, there's not many people starting a YouTube channel just to add value. And so I started going value, 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 never pitched anything. And nowadays I get to do a video like this and say, oh, by the way, if you want to get educated, put education in the comments. We'll be in touch. We'll set up a one-to-one call. Hint, hint, education in the comments. From a business point of view, why does it make money? Well, every marketing funnel works like this. So you have an awareness stage, a consideration or communication, not well known for my writing either apparently, as I said, and then an extraction phase. So in YouTube, one of the biggest benefits of being on YouTube is, whilst I can't see you right now, you're going to be one of hopefully a couple of thousand of people that watch this video. Great news, hopefully I can add a load of value to you, but also imagine a room, like visualize a room with 2,000 people in it. Like, how many rooms like that could you get in front of? And yet I get to do that in every single video. And sometimes I forget that, but I keep getting told you're talking to one person 2,000 times, Jamie. So, okay, I'll try and add the most value. The downside though of YouTube is it's also one-to-many. And what I mean by that is that I don't know who you are. You might be a Dave, a Sarah. In fact, let me know in the comments who you are and why you're here, because that's my only opportunity for you to communicate with me, and I try to reply to as many comments as possible. So it's really important that when you're building any form of media, that you're trying to drive down to one-to-one communication. So the way I do that is call to actions. Hey, if you're watching this, you want to build a property portfolio, you want to get the education behind it, you want to learn how to implement marketing techniques like this to make money, put education in below. We'll have a one-to-one strategy call. And then on that strategy call, I find out where you're at, where you want to get to. And if I feel I can actually help you, then I'll go, these are the services we provide. So that's an example of how I'm driving down that funnel. But the awareness goes into communication and goes into extraction. But it all starts with why. Why do you want to do this, and what do you want to drive? So once you've decided why you want to do this, I want to create a community on this YouTube channel, I want to inspire and educate, then we need to create it. So first of all, there's the setup of the account. Now, I'm not going to go through click by click here, but really you just want to set it up in the right way and name it appropriately. Now, honestly, I wouldn't overthink the title too much. It can either just be your name, Jamie York, and the reason I've done that is this is all based around my personal brand, and I don't just want it to be about property all the time. I want to talk about finance. I want to talk about more holistic approach to life. So it's encapsulating different different areas of your life focus. But if it were just property, I might call it Property Basics 101 or Buy to Let Invested in the UK. Jamie York does property. So think about an appropriate name, and it's really worth knowing you can change the name down the line, although I wouldn't do that until you're more substantiated. So just pick one, stick with it to at least 10,000 subscribers, which for most of you will take around a year to 2 years to do in the first place. Don't worry, you don't get paid per subscriber, by the way. Next thing you can do is identify your niche. The riches are in the niches, as the Americans say. Never understood that until I understood that niche is niche in America. There we go. Quite slow in some ways, aren't I? So you need to pick your niche, and the reason for that is you need to become known for something before you get known for anything. So even in property, I am relatively well known for boring, vanilla, buy-to-let properties, and I code it that way. I say boring, vanilla, buy-to-let properties. I don't say rental properties. I don't say buy-to-let. It's boring, vanilla, buy-to-let. And so when a potential investor gets on the phone and I go, what are you looking for? They go, boring, vanilla, buy-to-let. I'm like, it's very likely I'm going to end up working with this person. They've been watching my YouTube. I know they're indoctrinated into my way of thinking. Hopefully you're one of them, by the way. So when you're thinking about your niche, really narrow it down. You can go inch wide, mile deep, or mile wide, inch deep. You cannot have both. And my strong recommendation is become the expert, not an expert, the expert in one really small thing. And genuinely, I know it sounds crazy, you can pick any niche you want. It could be gardening, but even gardening is too broad. It's what type of plants, the winter gardening show, the types of flowers, is it a type of bedding that you do? There's all these things, like the more niche you can go, the more follows you can go, and then you can broaden out every quarter, let's say, into something new, so you become wider scope. So the riches are in the niches. Next, you want to plan out your content. So I really like using ChatGPT for this. And as you can see, this is a typical prompt that I'll put in. So really, what you want to do is tell ChatGPT who you are, give a bit of context of who your customer is, and then I want you to really help it understand what outcomes you want, and then create a 30-day social media plan. Now, top tip here, you are not going to use ChatGPT and take it for gospel. It's to inspire you and give you some ideas. I use it regularly for this channel on top of the comments that you leave. So if you're watching this and you're really interested in property, and actually there are certain problems that I've not covered, let me know in the comments, because it can inspire me to create a video just for you. Invest in quality equipment. So what does this mean? It does not mean get the cameras that I've got, the lighting that I've got. We've maybe spent like 10 grand. And honestly, it's still nowhere near what we actually want it to be in the studio. Most of you have an iPhone. And if you don't, what are you doing with your life? Now, imagine you've got a decent phone, decent camera, and honestly, my opinion, some will disagree with me, I think you can get 80% of the quality from an iPhone if you know how to use it correctly. So if you've got an iPhone, instead of going out and paying £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 for a camera, go and pay for a £200 iPhone videography course, and you'll learn a lot of the stuff that you need there. When it comes to editing, I really think it's being self-aware of who you are. Like, so for example, I've got an editing team that hopefully you think do a great job. I certainly think they do. But it's, if I didn't have that, am I about to download Adobe Pro? I honestly don't know, but there's a lot of AI software within those programs now that can really support your editing. And so for me, there's a lot of apps on the phone that can support me with this. But really, it's good for you to know some basics on editing, how you're going to do it. And honestly, as important as the skill of the editing, which obviously can take people years, there's a storyline behind it. So how do you tell a story through your content? How do you introduce B-roll as you're doing it? And B-roll, just so you know, is if I'm talking right now about running down a beach right now, maybe there could be a video of me running along a beach, that sort of thing. That's called B-roll. Okay, so you really want to make it engaging. If it were just an entire video of me being stood here talking to you in this monotonous tone, but all of it was really valuable, you would have switched off by now and watched somebody else's video. Whereas if it's here, ideally we'd have a camera set up here, 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 all of those sort of things. It really creates that experience. And remember, people's attention to detail, very low. You want to keep them engaged. Talking about engaging, we want to engage our audience. And one of the ways that we can do that is by being your authentic self. So I am certainly a little bit rough around the edges. I probably swear a little bit too much. I make jokes that are largely inappropriate and take the piss about pretty much everyone that I meet. But that's who I am. It's not me switching it on and off. It's part of my brand. And one thing I will say is you are your USP. You are your unique selling point. So don't try and be everyone else. Don't try and watch me, watch somebody else, watch the big gurus out there and think you need to be the same. Find out who you are and how you want to communicate, because when you put your authentic self forward, that's when people get the most value from you. Likewise, when you start expanding, collaborate with other people. Are there people in your space, so your niche? Because a lot of people think about competition when they should be thinking about collaboration. Are there great people that you could do a channel with? Maybe have a live debate. Nice one. Maybe you can sort of set the stance and do a competition with each other. There's a lot of ways of doing that. And then the big one that I really like is encouraging engagement and interaction. So I'll say, hey, are you getting value? Let me know the single piece of value you've got from this so far. Hey, if I could improve anything in this video, please let me know what it is in the comments. Hey, if you're watching this, and this would be my call to action, and you actually want to start making money seriously in property, 6 figures a year within the next 3 months, put education in the comments. And that's a very real call to action, by the way. So put education in the comments and we'll be in touch. But that's an example. So next thing is, how do we monetize? And then I'm going to go to how do we grow? And the reason I want to talk about monetization is there's 3 key ways that you really want to think about this. So first of all is directly from YouTube. So you can become a YouTube partner. Nice, right? So YouTube partnering is essentially, you don't get paid per subscriber. That's a common misconception. It's cost per melee. So the way that works is each 1,000 views, I get paid some money. And it's not because you're viewing it. You might have noticed there's some midstream rolls here, midstream ads. So what happens, let's say this is the duration of the video. So there might be an ad at the beginning, an ad at the end that you're thinking about the next video to watch. And in between, just when I'm about to give the most value possible, there comes an ad. I wonder if an ad come up, I don't know. Let's see. So it happens. Now, I don't get to decide what the ads are. So weirdly, you might be watching my video and it's getting interrupted by an ad by me. Or worse, it's getting interrupted by a competitor. Fuck off. Right, so each time you watch that ad for a certain amount of time, they pay me a few cents. So help me out. Okay, no, I'm joking. So that's how you make money. Now, in general, it's not a huge amount of money in the grand scheme of things. I'll get paid anything between maybe 1,500 and 5 grand a month. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but when you got these plebs working for me and they cost a lot of money, it obviously goes. So I actually make a net loss directly from the cost of running the YouTube channel. Or I guess technically you could say it's pretty even. But once you take out of like their salaries, pension contributions, the tech probably runs at just about a net loss. But that's only number 1 way. Number 2 is data. Now, I'll be honest, we are useless at this. And I say I'm useless at this. We need to get a lot better. So what is the best way of collecting data? Well, it's problem, solution, and then lead magnet. I'll give you an example of this. So let's say I'm trying to attract investors and they're outside of the area. I might do a video saying, hey, did you know you can build your entire portfolio with none of your time invested? So maybe if you live abroad right now, you live in London, this is really going to help you build your portfolio outside of that area. So here's the problem that people have. You need to do viewings, you need to talk to agents, you need to get the property price up, you need to be your solicitor, your accountants, and all of that, blah, 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 blah. The solution is by having the people on the ground. And actually, that's really difficult to do if you're not in the area. But on top of that, how can you view the property remotely? Well, the way that we do that is a virtual viewing document. Blah, 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 10 minutes of pure value. By the way, I've actually put together a 17-page guide on how to build your portfolio remotely, the Power Team remotely, and I've actually put my own virtual viewing document in. And if you want it, put yes please in the comments. Don't put yes please, there isn't one, by the way. My team will hate me if you suddenly put that. But that's an example. So we actually did this with a virtual viewing document and we had over 1,000 people download it. That is 1,000 people's name and number that I now have. Why does that make me money? Well, it doesn't have in the data, but it moves me to number 3. Your own product and service. This is how you really make money, by the way. So if you think about it, I've got a property channel and it's relatively big in the grand scheme of things. I think we're the second largest property YouTuber in the UK, and we have 2 key services. So we've got APG, which is Aspire Property Group, where we work with people that have a bit of money, but they don't have the time, the knowledge, and they're certainly not in the right location, and we build their portfolio hands-free for them. So if you watch some of my videos, I might go, by the way, if you're watching this, you've got 50K or more, and you want to invest, put APG in the comments. And so they'll do that, and then I get them on the phone call, see where they're at, where they want to get to if I can help, and then we charge them a fee for building their portfolio of properties hands-free. The other side, and this would be the call to action for this video for you watching, if you're still watching this far, well done, and I'll say, hey, education, put education in. Now, a lot of people that watch my channel, they want to build a property business, but they don't have a lot of money, and they've been told this bullshit that they need to have hundreds of thousands. You need to be rich to get richer. That's just not true. Some of my most successful mentees started in debt. They had to get a credit card or a loan to even invest in the program. And so the money you have is not a direct correlation to your success. So I might say, and this is the call to action to you if you fit into either of these, I guess, but mainly education is, hey, look, if you've been watching this and you're ready to actually back yourself, then book in a call. The way you can do that is put education in the comments. We'll have a chat with you, and it's the same layout, by the way. We find out where you were at, find out where you want to get to, give you a shit ton of value so you can understand how valuable we can be. And if you're ready to invest in yourself, great. And if you're not, that's cool as well, because you might be in the future. So that ends up going down to helping people build their business so they can make a shit ton of money and build their own portfolio for themselves. Monetization is an amazing way to do it. Finally, how do we actually grow this channel? Well, first of all, is SEO. So search engine optimization. You might go, what the hell did you just say? Or you might know it and go, why does it relate to YouTube? Well, YouTube is not a social media channel. It is a search engine. In fact, it's the second largest search engine in the world, owned by Google, which is the #1 in the world, which is really helpful, by the way, because if you've got a website, it kind of really helps that get up the rankings as well. So it's a search engine. And I give a great example. Maybe we can bring it up here. Buy-to-let basics. I did this video about 3 years ago. I don't know how many views it have now, hundreds of thousands, but it still gets views every single week, like over 100 views a week. Now, that's not a huge amount, apart from the fact it was posted 3 and a bit years ago. And that's because people are searching buy-to-let basics. What are the property for beginners? And that video comes up. So it's really important to get your SEO ranking. However, that leads to #2, you must be consistent. So what I mean by that is it doesn't work that I just post a buy-to-let basics video. Like if you literally copied it word for word, same imagery, same lighting, same editing, it would not be anywhere near as good as mine. And it's not that the value is different, because obviously it's factually the same. It's the fact that I've done 5 different buy-to-let basics, 5 different beginner videos, posted, largely speaking, 3 videos every single week for years, okay? And it builds up that consistency. And what it tells the algorithm is, hey, #1, this is what I talk about. I am the expert. And #2, I'm not going away. And so if you share my content with people and I keep them on your platform, I'm going to keep them again and again and again and again and again, because I'm here for the long term. Now the robot, the algorithm goes, okay, we're going to start promoting it to more people, but you have to get it ranked and you have to be consistent with what you're doing. And finally, post it. And what I mean by that is, don't keep it a secret. There's so many people I know that post an amazing YouTube video, but at the beginning, nobody's looking for you. So you need to tell the world. Now you can do this through some ads, or do it for free. If you've got an email list, email it out. Yeah, but I've got an email list that's nothing to do with this. I don't care. It's like, what if you've got 100 or 1,000 people that are adults, what's the chances they might be interested in making more money? Let me ask you, you let me know in the comments. Do you know anyone that might be interested in making more money this year? Yeah, I thought so. Who cares what your vehicle is? You're going to be interested in making money. So be yourself. Think about why you want to do it. Create the channel. Understand this is part of the awareness funnel. Create some great lead magnets. Provide solutions. And eventually, when you've built enough value, do not pitch in your first 6 months. Just value, 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 value all the way through. And then when you're known for value, you will have people just like you, hopefully, that go, Jesus, if you spent this time adding value for free, imagine if I actually spent some meaningful time with them. So if that is you, you want to get educated, you want to take this seriously this year, put education in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you're new to the channel, I don't usually talk about creating a YouTube channel as such, but I do talk about making more money. So if you want to make more money, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And if you know somebody that want to make more money, share this video with them. I'll see you in the next video.